If you're watching this, stop scrolling for a moment. Because the story you're about to hear is true, terrifying, and painfully real for far too many young women. Before we begin, please subscribe, like, and drop a comment to help the channel spread awareness about missing girls and exploitation. Your engagement might help save someone's life. 19-year-old Aaliyah Monroe grew up in a small apartment on the west side of the city, a place where gunshots were so normal that babies slept through them. She was African American, soft-spoken, bright-eyed, and fragile in the way flowers are fragile, beautiful, but too exposed to survive a storm. Her biggest dream? To escape. To leave behind the moldy walls of her mother's overworked life. To find a place where she could breathe, maybe study nursing, help people, be more than what the world told her she would become. She wasn't perfect. She wasn't reckless. She was just young, hopeful, and hungry for anything that felt like a chance. And that's what made her dangerous. It happened on a Thursday night. Aaliyah posted a selfie, a simple one, a soft smile, natural hair, lip gloss. The caption, "Maybe life gets better from here." At 2:14 a.m., a message slid into her inbox from a profile named Royal Lifestyle _247. "Your look is unique. You ever consider modeling?" She stared at it. Her heart fluttered. A second message followed. "We pay $600 for your first shoot. Legit business. I can help you get started." $600. That was almost her entire monthly paycheck from the fast food place. Her phone buzzed again. "You deserve better than how you're living, RN. I can help. Marcus." His profile showed him standing in front of luxury cars, traveling, smiling with wealthy-looking people. He looked safe. Or at least safer than the men she grew up learning to avoid. Marcus convinced her to meet at a well-known cafe downtown, a public place. Nothing dangerous about that, right? He arrived exactly on time. Clean sneakers. Designer tracksuit. Fresh haircut. Confident, charming, polite. He asked questions about her dreams, and listened as though her voice mattered. He paid for her meal, handed her a portfolio folder, and said, "You've got potential. Real potential. I can make you someone." Aaliyah felt seen for the first time in her life. Before they parted, he added, "I know you can't travel alone at night. I'll drive you home." She hesitated, but the cafe was crowded. The streets were well lit. He seemed respectful. So she walked to his car. That was mistake number one. The car smelled like new leather and sweet cologne. Marcus locked the doors casually. "Automatic," he said with a smile. But the sound made something cold crawl up her spine. As they drove, he took a wrong turn. Then, another. "Shortcut," he said. "But, this isn't my street," she whispered. He didn't answer. The music grew louder. Her heartbeat grew louder. Then, slowly, he reached into his glove compartment, pulled out a second phone, and sent a text. It took Aaliyah 3 seconds too long to understand the truth. This wasn't a shortcut. This was a handoff. They reached a warehouse district, abandoned, silent, dead. A white van waited behind one of the buildings. A man stepped out, head shaved, expression empty. Aaliyah's breath caught. She unbuckled her seatbelt. Her fingers trembled. Marcus, what is this?" He looked at her with a softness that made everything so much worse. "It's just business." Then the back door of the van slid open with a metallic roar. Aaliyah screamed. But the walls of the district swallowed her voice like a grave. Her phone was ripped from her hand. Her hair pulled. Her legs kicked and scraped the concrete. Marcus didn't look away. He watched as 2 men dragged her into the darkness of the van. And just before the doors slammed, the last thing she saw was his smile. When Aaliyah woke up, she was in a small room with thick black curtains, a single mattress on the floor, and a camera in the corner. Her wrists ached. Her throat burned from screaming. Her legs were bruised. A woman, tall, sharp-eyed, covered in tattoos, walked in. No crying, she said flatly. No shouting. No refusing. You're property now. Aaliyah shook uncontrollably. I have a mom. People will look for me. The woman laughed. We've done this a long time. Nobody's coming. And that's when Aaliyah realized the true horror. They had taken her. But the world didn't even know she was missing. The lock clicked behind the woman as she left. Aaliyah curled into the corner, arms wrapped around her knees. She whispered to herself over and over. This can't be real. Someone will find me. Someone has to find me. But time passed with no footsteps. No voices. Only the faint hum of a generator somewhere in the distance. Hours later, the door opened again. A man walked in. A stranger. Aaliyah backed up so hard she hit the wall. No, please. Her voice broke. The man didn't speak. He just reached for her. And that night shattered something inside her forever. Please, make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. It tells the algorithm to push this video to more viewers, helping raise awareness about real-life exploitation victims. Aaliyah woke up shaking, her throat raw, her body throbbing in places she didn't want to think about. But what broke her wasn't the pain. It was the silence. Silence thicker than fear, heavier than death. The small room had no windows. Just a bolted steel door, a cracked mirror, and a camera blinking red, recording her every breath. She tried to cover her body with the thin bedsheet, but the humiliation felt tattooed on her skin. Then she noticed something on the floor. A plastic tray. A slice of bread. A cup of water. A cracked boiled egg. It wasn't kindness. It was control. She touched her swollen cheek and whispered, "Mama, please find me." But nobody came. In the afternoon, the steel door unlocked with a heavy click. The tattooed woman from the night before entered, this time holding handcuffs. "Get up," she said. "You need to meet the others." "I don't want," Aaliyah's voice cracked. The woman stepped forward fast, hand raised. Aaliyah flinched so violently she nearly fell. "I didn't ask what you want," the woman growled. "Move." Aaliyah's legs trembled as she stood. The hallway outside was long, dim, and lined with doors identical to hers, windowless, cold, dead. The woman shoved Aaliyah into a larger room where 5 other girls sat on thin mattresses. Each one looked broken. A Latina girl with bruises covering her arms. A pale blonde girl whose eyes didn't focus. A Nigerian girl who quietly sobbed into her hands. A mixed-race girl with tangled hair and a swollen lip. And a girl no older than 14 staring blankly at the floor. Aaliyah froze. The Latina girl whispered, "You're new." "I'm sorry." The youngest girl glanced at her, lips trembling. "You don't fight," she whispered. "Fighting makes it worse." Aaliyah's heart shattered. The woman barked. "Everybody listen. Aaliyah will be joining you. You show her the rules. You help her get ready. If she messes up..." She tapped her belt, a taser clipped to it. "Everyone pays." Then she left the room, locking the door behind her. Aaliyah felt her knees weaken. The Nigerian girl scooted closer. Her name was Amara. She placed a gentle hand on Aaliyah's arm. "You will survive," she said softly. "But you must be smart." Aaliyah burst into tears, silent, terrified tears, as the girls formed a circle around her. "We were all like you," Amara whispered, "trusting the wrong person. And now we're here." As evening approached, the girls explained everything. Rule number 1. Never scream. The rooms are soundproof, but screaming makes them punish the whole group. Rule number 2. Always obey. If you hesitate, if you cry too loudly, if you beg too long, somebody else pays. Rule number 3. Never look the clients in the eyes. It makes them violent. Rule number 4. Never try to run unless the door is open. For girls before them tried. None were ever seen again. Aaliyah trembled as she listened, hugging her knees. "But why doesn't anyone look for you?" she whispered. The blonde girl gave a hollow laugh. They take our phones. Our accounts. They send messages to our families so nobody gets suspicious. Aaliyah felt sick. My mom. Her breath hitched. She'll think I left her. Amara nodded, painfully. They know how to make you disappear, while pretending you're still alive. Later that night, they were forced into a long hallway lit by buzzing fluorescent bulbs. Aaliyah was pushed into a small office with peeling wallpaper and dirty blinds. Behind a desk sat Mr. Hale, a thick man with cold gray eyes and a smile too small for his face. Marcus stood beside him. The sight of him made Aaliyah's stomach twist violently. Marcus leaned against the wall, as if he owned the room. Hale spoke first. So, the new girl. He looked her up and down like she was merchandise on a shelf. You'll make us good money. Aaliyah felt tears burning behind her eyes. Please, please, let me go. I won't say anything. I just want my mom. Marcus sighed dramatically. See, they all say that at first. Hale lifted a small remote from the desk and pressed a button. A shock tore through Aaliyah's body. Quick, stabbing, brutal. She collapsed to her knees, shaking violently. Marcus crouched beside her, voice dripping with false pity. You could have had a nice life with me, he whispered. But now you belong to him. Her tears dripped onto the dirty floor. Hours later, back in the shared room, Aaliyah lay curled on her mattress, barely breathing. The other girls surrounded her protectively. But that night, something happened. Something small. Something that should have meant nothing. But it changed everything. The youngest girl, her name was Lily, quietly slipped something into Aaliyah's hand. A bobby pin. Aaliyah frowned. What's this? Lily leaned in, whispering so softly only Aaliyah could hear. I've been saving it, for months. I think it can unlock the small doors. Aaliyah's heart slammed against her ribs. Why give it to me? Because... Lily's voice cracked. You still have hope in your eyes. The rest of us lost it. Aaliyah closed her hand around the tiny piece of metal. For the first time since the van doors slammed shut, she felt the smallest spark of something she thought she'd lost. Hope. The girls huddled around Aaliyah as she showed them the pin. We can't use it on the main doors, Amara warned. Those have electronic locks. But the maintenance room, the vent near the kitchen, maybe. Aaliyah sat up, adrenaline rushing through her. What's in the maintenance room? Tools, said the Latina girl. And possibly a way to the loading dock. Aaliyah's heart thumped loudly. They had a chance. A tiny one, but a chance. We do this carefully, Amara whispered. We do it together. Aaliyah nodded. For the first time, she felt a sliver of strength returning to her. She wasn't just a victim anymore. She was a survivor, a fighter, and she wasn't going to die in that building. Aaliyah barely slept. She kept the tiny bobby pin hidden under her tongue, afraid the guards might search her. The metal tasted bitter, but that bitterness gave her strength. Around midnight, the hallway grew quiet. That's when Amara whispered, "It has to be tonight. If we wait, someone else might get punished. Or worse." The youngest girl, Lily, squeezed Aaliyah's hand. "I believe in you," she whispered. "You're the only one brave enough to do this." Aaliyah shook her head fiercely. "No. We're doing this together. All of us." Amara gave a sad smile. "You don't understand. Not all of us can move fast enough. If they catch us, they'll kill everyone." The room fell silent. Aaliyah felt her chest tightening. "We're not leaving anyone," she said again. But even she heard the fear in her own voice. At 2:11 a.m., the hallway lights flickered, something they did every night when the generator reset. That was their window. Aaliyah kneeled at the small maintenance door near the floor, the one the guards rarely noticed. Her hands trembled so violently she almost dropped the pin. Amara held her shoulders. Breathe. You can do it. Aaliyah slid the pin into the lock. Twisted. Pressed. Turned. Click. The softest, most beautiful sound she had ever heard. The vent door opened just enough for someone to slip through. Lily gasped. The Latina girl covered her mouth to keep her from making noise. Aaliyah felt tears forming, but she swallowed them. There was no time for emotion. The vent was colder than she expected. Smaller too, barely big enough for one girl to crawl through on her stomach. Aaliyah went first. Her elbows scraped metal. Her knees burned. The smell of dust clogged her breath. Behind her, she heard Amara whispering instructions to the others. To her surprise, 3 girls followed. But 2, Lily and the blonde girl, stayed behind. We can't crawl fast, Lily whispered softly. If we slow you down, they'll catch everyone. Aaliyah's throat closed. No, come with us. You have to. Lily shook her head with a heartbreaking smile. You're the one who can save us. Aaliyah wanted to scream, beg, fight. But she couldn't risk being heard. Tears streamed silently down her face as she crawled forward, away from the girls she was leaving behind. After what felt like hours of crawling, Aaliyah pushed open the end grate and dropped into a dark maintenance room cluttered with paint cans, tools, and old furniture. The other 3 girls fell in behind her. Aaliyah stood quickly. Okay, we need a plan. There must be a door. The Latina girl pointed. A gray metal door with an emergency exit sign hung crooked on its frame. Aaliyah grabbed the handle. It didn't budge. It was padlocked. Aaliyah's hope cracked in half. No, please. Then Amara spotted something on a shelf. Bolt cutters. Her hands shook as she lifted them. This is loud, she whispered. We get one chance. Aaliyah nodded, wiping her tears. Do it. Amara positioned the bolt cutters around the thick padlock. She pressed down. The room echoed with a deep metallic crunch. They all froze. Footsteps rushed from the hallway outside. They were out of time. The padlock fell to the floor. Aaliyah yanked the door open. Cold night air blasted into her face. Freedom. Real freedom. Go. Amara whispered. Run. But as they sprinted into the alley behind the building, a figure stepped out of the shadows. Marcus. Aaliyah's heart stopped. He glanced at the cut lock, the vent, the fleeing girls. His smile spread slowly. You actually thought this place had blind spots, he said. Cute. The Latina girl screamed. Aaliyah grabbed a broken metal pipe from the ground. Get away from us. Marcus laughed. You won't win, Aaliyah. You're too soft. He stepped toward her. And maybe it was fear. Maybe adrenaline. Maybe the fire that trauma creates. But Aaliyah swung the pipe. Hard. The metal connected with Marcus's knee. He collapsed, shouting in agony. Run! She yelled. The girls sprinted into the night. Aaliyah sprinted last, looking back only once to see Marcus crawling toward his phone. He was dialing someone. And she knew. They were being hunted. The alley split into 3 directions. They took the middle one, feet slapping pavement, lungs burning, hearts slamming like drums of war. Behind them, men shouted. Boots pounded pavement. Keys jangled. Engines roared to life. They're coming. Faster. Amara cried. Aaliyah spotted a high fence at the end of the alley. No choice. Climb. The Latina girl struggled, slipping twice before Aaliyah and Amara pushed her up. Aaliyah climbed last, hands slipping on the cold metal. A flashlight beam grazed her leg. Aaliyah! A man shouted. Stop! She threw herself over the top just as a hand grabbed her shoe. It tore off her foot as she hit the ground on the other side. Her ankle twisted painfully, but she forced herself to stand. Go! She screamed. They ran again. After several blocks, sirens erupted in the distance. Red and blue lights flashed at the end of the street. Amara gasped. The police? No, Aaliyah said breathlessly. They're for someone else. But then she heard it. A voice from a loudspeaker. This is the police. Stay where you are. The officers weren't responding to another call. They were responding to them. They had been spotted by a citizen, a woman closing her night shift bakery, who saw 3 terrified girls limping barefoot down the street and called 911. Aaliyah choked on a sob as officers surrounded them. Please, please help us, she whispered. Then her body collapsed from exhaustion and pain. Aaliyah woke up in a hospital bed. Her wrist bandages were clean. Her ankle was wrapped. Her face was bruised. A detective sat beside her. Your escape helped us find the location, he said softly. SWAT raided it this morning. Aaliyah bolted upright. The girls. Lily. The detective hesitated. Her heart dropped. We rescued some, he said slowly. But not all. Aaliyah buried her face in her hands. Marcus, she asked through tears. Arrested. So were 4 others. But the operation was big. International. Some of them escaped. Aaliyah shook uncontrollably. The detective placed a hand on her shoulder. Because of you, we saved lives. You're the reason those girls are free. But to Aaliyah, it didn't feel like victory. It felt like grief. Aaliyah's mother ran into the hospital room, wailing. She wrapped her daughter in her arms and didn't let go. My baby, my baby, my baby. Aaliyah broke down sobbing into her mother's shirt. The reunion was beautiful, emotional, painful. But as her mom held her, Aaliyah realized something. She would never be the same girl who once believed in hope, in kindness, in safety. But she was alive. And she would use that life for something greater. Months later, Aaliyah stood in front of a small group of teenage girls in a community center. Her scars had faded, but her voice was stronger. My name is Aaliyah Monroe, she said. And I survived something I never thought I could. The girls watched her with wide, frightened eyes. And I'm telling you this because I want you to know, if something feels wrong, trust yourself. And if someone tries to take your freedom, fight like your life depends on it. She took a deep breath. Because it does. The room was silent. Then a girl in the front row whispered, You're brave. Aaliyah smiled through her pain. No, she said softly. I'm a survivor. And her story became a warning. A message. A spark of hope for others trapped in the dark. If you found this story powerful, help us spread awareness. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Comment, Justice for survivors. Share this story to help protect others. These stories are real. And awareness saves lives.